Our health is something we often take for granted. We rarely think about the energy needed to keep the heart pumping, the muscles needed to allow us to breathe, the complex chemical processes to break down food, etc. All these processes happen 24 hours a day, 7 days a week, and we are often oblivious to our body's inner workings. Perhaps the hardest challenge we will ever have to endure in our lifetime is the moment when our body no longer functions as it should, and we're told we have a chronic medical condition. Being diagnosed with a chronic illness can be overwhelming. As you are struggling to adjust to your new life, your family and friends will often not understand. They will question everything you do. You try to get better, but your body continues to fail. When your health remains less than ideal for days, months, or even years on end, you are often asked, "Aren't you better yet?" One of the most difficult challenges to overcome is communicating with people. Something you can do for a few minutes or a few seconds is not the same as being able to do the task for hours on end. Many people have the misconception if you can do something at all, that means you do not need an assisted device or you do not have a disability. I will give you an example. I use a ventilator to breathe for most of the day. However, there are times in which I disconnect and breathe on my own. The one place I try to never take my ventilator with me is into the bathroom. I can breathe on my own just fine during the few minutes it takes to get in and out of the bathroom. If I'm in a public place, I will disconnect from my ventilator, use the bathroom, and then reconnect to my ventilator. If someone witnesses this, he may tell me he saw what I did. I really do not need a ventilator to breathe. I can breathe on my own. I have found the best way to converse with people is by not talking medicine. Instead, I try to think of analogies which will get the person to understand my point. For breathing without my ventilator, I use the analogy of holding one's breath underwater. I will say, if you go into the pool, can you go underwater and hold your breath for 10 seconds? The person will say, yes. I then will say, okay, great. Next, you're going to go into the deep end of the pool and you will be held underwater for 10 minutes. The person will explain, what? Why? I won't be able to breathe. I will die. I then will say, oh, but you said you could hold your breath for 10 seconds. If you can do something for a short period of time, then it should be no problem for you to do it for a longer period of time. Or is that not correct? The person will respond, of course that's not correct. He will drown if he's held underwater for 10 minutes. I then will respond, great, that is just like me. I can go off my ventilator for a little while, but soon my body needs assistance to breathe. Just because I can do something for a short period of time does not mean I can do it all day long. Sometimes using analogies works, and sometimes it does not. But at least it hopefully gets the person thinking about his erroneous assumptions. One of the biggest misconceptions about having a chronic illness is that it is not okay to grieve for your old life. I will tell you this, your life has dramatically changed. Things you used to be able to do, you can no longer do. You may have had to drop out of school, quit your job, and move in with family or friends. Everything in your life may have changed in the twinkling of an eye. With this said, it is absolutely okay to grieve for your old life. Cry, lament, throw a pity party, scream. Do whatever you need to do to come to terms with the life you lost, because truly, your old life has died. Don't hold in your emotions. Find ways to express yourself in a constructive way. Throw a funeral for your old life. Have photos of your old life and write a eulogy about things you can no longer do. As with the loss of a loved one, it will take time for you to grieve the loss of your life. It will not be easy. You may find yourself bursting into tears for almost any reason. Allow yourself to experience the loss of your old life. But I will warn you, you will need to eventually move forward. You will need to figure out how to live your new life, and that will take patience and a lot of trial and error. I am not going to lie. Chronic illness is hard. In 2010, after I'd gone to a large medical center and was told there was nothing more they could do for me, I wanted to kill myself. At the time, I could eat very little and relied on a feeding tube for most of my nutrition. I thought, what use was my life if all I could do is lie around and breathe? Thankfully, God intervened and prevented me from ever acting on these thoughts. The one thing I've learned is suicidal thoughts are normal with chronic illness. It is not if you will have them, but when. My best advice is to link up with a support group. There are lots of different groups online and through organizations, medical centers, and churches. Find someone or a group of people to share your experiences and give support. One thing you will soon find out is there is always someone who has been down your road before with similar medical issues. Connecting with others is a great way to figure out how to live your life with your medical condition and how to find ways to improve your health. When you flip your energy from feeling sorry about your situation into one of trying to find ways to live life with your condition, most of the time, the thoughts of killing yourself will disappear. Also, another great way to get past suicidal thoughts is to take on responsibility. For example, get a pet, such as a dog, cat, fish, or iguana. Have something which depends on you and needs you to survive. This will give you purpose and will give you something to look forward to. As you learn to live with your medical condition, I will tell you, time will be one of your best friends. As the months turn into years, the memories of your old life will grow dim. Your new memories will be filled with your life you are leading with chronic illness. You will forget what it was like to jump into the car at a moment's notice and go wherever your heart desired. Moreover, as time passes, your friends and family will age. There is a silver lining with age. Everyone slows down. With this said, as you age, your family and friends age with you. They will start slowing down and will not be able to do as much as they once were. I find this very comforting. Seeing friends post photos of themselves online, sitting at home for a quiet evening, is much easier to take than seeing friends backpacking through Europe and skydiving in the Alps. Most people, when they get pneumonia, the flu, an infection, etc., they are given a plan for treatment, and soon they are on the path to better health. For chronic illness, there is no such clear-cut path to better health. You may have good days and bad days. If you have a good day, a person may assume you are improving. If you have a bad day, the world rarely knows, since you probably will not be leaving your home for anyone to witness your less than ideal day of health. Most people have a hard time comprehending being sick for days without end, with no cure in sight. Thus, it is common when someone sees you still sick after a long period of time to ask, "Aren't you better yet?" I wish I could say I have developed a graceful way to answer this question, but I have not. I try not to be overwhelmed with grief and sadness and try to smile as I say, "No, I am not better yet. I am still waiting and hoping one day God will be gracious to me and heal me. Until then, I keep trying to do my best to make the most of the life I have with this chronic illness. Since starting this channel, I wanted a platform to share some of my daily life and experiences I have when living with my health conditions. This channel has been focusing on information regarding ventilators and tracheostomies. Thus, I have decided to launch a new YouTube channel, which will be geared more towards the daily challenges I face, from doctor's appointments to emergency department visits to just trying to get through each day the best I can. I invite everyone to check out my new YouTube channel called God is My Strength. Thank you so much for joining me. Please remember to like and subscribe down below. I hope you have a great day and a wonderful week. Bye-bye.